and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll come.
I'm around, just getting ready.
Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.
I was late. You guys should know, every time the market does something crazy, I get calls from friends.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast.
Morning, Jacob.
Guiding me through my
I am
hopes and
trying to get ready. I'm
Tune in
late.
daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now.
Listen now.
Every morning I wake
Okay.
up to the sound of the trading
I need to.
bell. My heart starts to
The
pound.
camera's messed
Daily
up.
stock pick trading podcast in my
Okay.
ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily.
Yay, DG. Kudos on that one. Oh, claim it back. Mind, let's see. Mind is one. It's a crazy. Yeah, it's up 22%. Kudos, congratulations. I know you had asked about that one yesterday, so hopefully you have a hundy in there. 100,000, a hundy, because now it's worth 120,000. I hope you put it in there. This 1 hour strategy. I mean, here's the thing. What's crazy is this 1 hour stock battle strategy that I have. Okay, it tests it for 61 days, 19 positions. You only win 37% of the time, but your average win is 3%. So rather than enjoying this 45% downturn, you actually make 2%. So, Credo on the 4 hour. Let's see. Just got an entry at 37. I mean, it's up 8% in pre-market. I mean, I own this at a significantly higher price. So I'm down like, 30, 40%, somewhere in that neighborhood. So if you ask me, 37's a golden buy. Am I buying it? I'm a little bit skeptical. I mean, this one makes me nervous just because they have the exposure to one hyperscaler, and that hyperscaler is supposedly Amazon. So yeah, Eli. So what you're seeing with the 4 hour algorithm, the entry, understand that the calculation of the Liberation Day still doesn't have you in. I mean, let's look at Liberation Day for QQQ. It still won't have you in. Let's go to QQQ. There we go. It will be It's a moving average, and it's a moving average that I don't have on my screen. That is the calculation. And I posted this in many newsletters. So if you want to see the actual entry, just go over to one of the newsletters where I posted it. You know, you can go in and look up liberation. Let's see. Big trading podcast in my ears. It's right here. So you can click on that, go to one of the things, and you can find it. So it's a good way to do it. But it is a good morning, by the way. But the liberation strategy, it's not even close to getting you back in. And if you look at the entries, you can see, it wants confirmation over that 9-day. So the entries are pretty clear. I don't think yesterday gets us out of the woods, not to like jinx it or anything, but let's open up. I'm going to open up Earnings Hub too, because we've got some big earnings after the close. You got Chipotle, you got ServiceNow, IBM, Lam Research, you got Texas Instruments, you got Viking Therapeutics, Discovery, O'Reilly, Edwards Life Science. You've got Procter and Gamble tomorrow, Pepsi before the bell. They got to remove some of the food dye. You got Google. I think Google is a great buy. Celestica, CLS. So, I will give you a hot take in that I don't think the U.S. is where you buy. I'll wait for that one, but let's talk about what we're going to go over. This was a great article from Steve Kress on why he likes 70 crypto ETFs await SEC approval. ODL. That's his top Bitcoin, and he goes over why. It's an interesting one. To continue the FIRE theme, financial independence, retire early. This was a great thread, and if you are interested in financial independence, retiring early, this should be on your read list, because it is about how you have a space zone or a safe zone, protected value, and how you can live in that time. We're going to go over one thing that I wanted to look over real quick is MicroStrategy, MSTR. Did we get an entry in the 4-hour? Because the 4-hour was kicking ass, and it still is kicking ass, doubling the return. It's doubling the return, buy and hold. And again, you only win 39% of the time. 23 positions over 24 months. You win what, 11 times? 10 times? But your average win is 68 effing percent. 68 effing percent. Yeah. I still haven't read your GLP-1 email though, Eli, I was working on have you seen the new graphics down below, Eli? Have you seen the new intro? Do you know how long that shit takes me? But it has been 6 months? We're going to go over all the earnings because there's a lot. It's clearly giving us a signal. Because, and if you didn't hear me on Spaces yesterday, just listen to this clip on Fox News, because it's pretty much this was at 6:30 at night. My rant went on at 3:30. So somebody's listening to the Spaces and they're listening to me. Tesla was what it was. I mean, Tesla being up $20 after that earnings debacle, it says something. I'll go over what my thoughts are. Is gold done? Maybe. Microsoft and Salesforce may be the number one picks according to Bank of America. This was an interesting article about 10 stocks that offer growth dividends and have traded higher in 2025. A couple of them I am shocked at. And it doesn't mean go out and buy those, but it's an interesting one. We had a crazy day yesterday. I will go over all of it. It was a huge broad-based rally, just an enormous broad-based rally. So we'll go over what Besson said. We'll go over a stock that was Perplexity. This is one thing. So this was a newsletter, 4 stocks that could turn $5,000 into $1 million. There's a stock that is up 32% since I published this on March 18th. Okay, I only gave you 4 stocks. And one of them, which I've talked about many, many times, another one that I've talked about and made mention of, Melly, is up 8% since March 18th. So Perplexity has a pretty good track record right now. I was just telling my friend that. I think I'm too loud. My girlfriend says I'm too loud. Okay, we're going to take that one out. Okay, I don't know why that was there. Okay. And we're going to start out with QQQ. Leroy Jenkins. And you're right, Eli. When I hear, can someone give me a numbers crunch? I forget what the exact line is. It makes me laugh. Yeah, my fat ass needs GLP-1. Yeah, I think Scott, it was all that, but I think it's, I will go over exactly what my rant was yesterday. I want to redo this. We're going to redo that trigger. I need that one. Jacob, I didn't think you were that old. Yeah. It's a good one. I mean, Leroy Jenkins one was good. I want to see if there's any insider buys that. Well, where is the insiders? I mean, there's one buy of what? LIND? Lindblad Expeditions Holdings. But you're seeing a bunch of sales. There's D-Man's GILD. The 10% owner bought a ton more, it looks like. Yeah. $255,000. What's that? Shares total the value. There we go. Where was that? GILD. So, about $1 million. Interesting. 38. 38 was a good year for me. I got in shape when I was 40. Yeah, those the new iPad Pros are, and that's the way I would go, Eli. iPad Pro. The regular iPad for me just doesn't do it. And don't ask me why. It should be enough for me. It's just not. So, insider buying. There we go. Earnings before. Okay, nothing there. Okay. So here's my getting in shape story, Jacob, since you bought it. And if I can inspire anybody, you should do it. Honestly, I'm about 18 pounds overweight right now, to be honest. And it's all in my gut. And it's because I don't do yoga as much as I should. It's because I don't do crunches as much as I should. And I don't go to the gym. I don't have a gym membership. So I don't lift the weights. But it was May 1st, 2011. I was 40 years old because my birthday's in August, so I was just about 40 and a half. And I was playing Halo. It was in those days where Halo was out and you could play with like 40 people online, and we had a group on Sunday morning. And I ate, one of those party bags of M&Ms. It's not like a small one. It's like the family size one that you get at Costco. And I sat in bed on a Sunday morning and ate almost the entire bag with a half gallon of Red Label fat milk. And I was close to, I think, about 205 pounds, 206 pounds, somewhere around there. Just to give you an idea, I'm 177 pounds right now. I should be about 165 is kind of my quote unquote fighting weight. But I sat in bed. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon by the time I got out of bed. And I decided, okay, I'm going to get out of bed and go and run. I lived on a golf course. I'm going to run from my house to the clubhouse, and which was only a quarter of a mile, and I couldn't make it. My knees gave out. I got shin splints, blah, blah, blah. That day, I went raw vegan for 90 days. I ran or walked, and it was my start of the running, so it was more walking. But I think I started at like 12 minutes per mile. Then I was happy when I got to 10 minutes. I finally got down to 8 minutes per mile after years and years and years. But I ran. Within 90 days, I went from about 205 pounds down to, I want to say, about 160, 165, somewhere in that neighborhood. Then I joined a gym. I continued to lose weight. It was mostly eating, and it was less sugar. Got rid of the sodas, got rid of all of that stuff. Raw vegan meant I'd wake up in the morning, I'd have a banana, maybe an orange. And then at lunchtime, I'd have an apple and some carrots and some hummus. Then for dinner, I would probably eat broccoli and some greens. I didn't get protein. So I had no protein. I mean, my goal was to get down to under 10% body fat. So it was a situation where I just said, hey, I'm going to do that. And I did it, and I wound up losing a bunch of weight. So yeah, it was crazy, but I got in shape. Okay, there's my fitness story. Oh, that's not bad at all. 750? Wow. Oh, you meant, yeah. Okay, now I get it. $800 credit, so you put, yeah. Yeah, and that's my problem right now, Scott, is that I go to Nature's Own Bakery, those little things that are blueberry and raspberry. Oh my effing God. But last night I bought tuna from Costco, and it's an enormous piece of tuna, and I cut it up, and I had a ton of it last night. And I was so full, but that's probably where I'm going to go, is more protein. And I do need to join a gym, but I got to get started on this damn podcast. It's 9:07. Okay. Good morning. It is Wednesday, April 23rd. Is it post-Liberation Day? I don't know. I mean, did we just give up and say, hey, we're just going to go back to the got a lot to talk about. Okay. I'm going to give you some great insights. I'm going to give you a stock that since I recommended it to the paid, and I'll tell you everything that I went through. It's up 32% since March 18th. We'll go through that. We'll go through yesterday's craziness because it was crazy. We will go through what type of market I think that it is, where I think you should focus, where I think it should say because again, this podcast is more about me than it is you. We will look at MicroStrategy and the 4-hour algorithm because it's doing damn well. Is the gold run over? And then what is earnings telling us? Because Tesla's earnings last night absolutely identified what is going on. A fire tip, financial independence, retire early, and then a crypto. Steve Crest, he likes IBIT, but he found a better one. So we'll kind of go through all of that. First off, QQQ got to buy in the 4-hour algorithm. It's the 4-hour algorithm. The 4-hour algorithm makes you 37%. Between buy and holding makes you 38%. Okay? The reason was because this one got you out. I wouldn't have expected if you got in there at 450 for you to get out here with a loss. I would expect you to hold on to it, but I would expect you to add at 444 yesterday afternoon. Okay? It gave, if you had an alert, you got an alert. You got a text. That's what Trendspider does, is you set up an alert. You just say, alert me when this happens, when it buys, and boom, you get a text. And if you're a boomer, it'll send you an email. They got you covered no matter what your age is. So Trendspider's really good. Now, if you sign up for Trendspider, okay, you go to my link tree. The link is down below. It's this top link, Trendspider sale. If you sign up, like a few people yesterday signed up, you get the 4-hour algorithm on an annual plan. Okay? You'll get the liberation strategy, which hasn't gotten you back in yet. Do I think that we're out of the woods yet? No. This is the liberation strategy. And when you look at the Liberation Day strategy, okay, it makes you 302% between versus 322% buy and hold. But what does it save you? It saves you, and I back tested it, 25%. During COVID, okay? We just went back 9 years on this one. So it starts right here on January 18th. It saves you from staying in that market so you can optimize and you can try and find entries back in so that you feel comfortable. Again, it almost beats buy and hold. It's got a 64% win rate. So you can find entries and then just buy and hold. Saves you 25% during COVID, 32% during the interest rate hikes of 2022. It saves you during the dot bomb of 2000. Yes, I went back and tested it. It saves you during that lost decade, saves you during the 2008 and 2009 financial crisis. It has saved you over 25% since Liberation Day. And this is a strategy in Trendspider. And if you get Trendspider right here, you can click on that link. It'll take you over here. Here's the costs. I don't know, is the Easter sale still going on? 15 hours more. Today's your last day. You'll get all of that. And here's another one you can do when you set up your training, because even with the lowest plan, you get one training per year on this plan. Okay? You can get 14 days for $19. You'll get one training. You don't get my 4-hour algorithm, but you can import the liberation strategy if you'd like. Just send me a message. Say, hey, I want the liberation strategy. Understand that I don't think it's going to get you in the next 14 days. But if you want that for $20, go and get it. Set up an alert. And here's another one. Did you know you can create strategies that enter and exit based on breadth conditions? Market breadth. Okay? Here's what buying SPY when the 200-day SMA breadth hits 25% or lower, then exits 1 year later. Okay? Looks pretty damn good. It looks pretty damn good. Those entries, it saves you from those downturns. So if you'd like Trendspider, again, the link is down below, right below my head. It takes you right here, and you can go to Trendspider and buy it during the Easter sale. And you can just ask them during your training, hey, show me how to set up this strategy. And they'll do it during your first hour. Now, I want to give an update on one of the stocks. This was a newsletter that I did, and you can get to the newsletter from Linktree. It's right here in the middle. Daily Stock Picks newsletter on Substack. It is free most of the time. This was a paid newsletter, okay? Part of this was done by, if you invested $5,000, here's how long it would take to hit $1 million. Bitcoin, 9 years. NVIDIA, 10 years. Tesla, 14 years. Netflix, 16 years. Apple, 20 years. Amazon, 20 years. Starbucks, 32, blah, blah, blah. Go on and gone. Costco to 35 years. That's not bad. I mean, again, you might say, well, why would I want Costco? Well, it's because you may not have these other ones. You may feel more comfortable with Costco. But I went in and I said, hey, Perplexity, give me stocks that look like these did during that, looked like Bitcoin 9 years ago, looked like NVIDIA 10 years ago, looked like Tesla 14 years ago. And it spit out 4 stocks. Okay? It spit out 4 stocks. One of those stocks was TMDX, Transmedics. Okay. Year to date, Transmedics is up 46%. 6 months, it's down 25%. But you go back 1 month, it's up 29%. Since I posted this newsletter, I did the math, and I'll post it, the exact chart today in the newsletter. TMDX, since I did this, is up 32%. Okay, there's another one that I have mentioned that Perplexity did. Perplexity gave me, it's up 8% in a down market. So there are opportunities in this market. You should be using AI. That's the point of this newsletter. You don't have to pay me. Go and use AI on your own. But understand there are opportunities out there. You have to use the tools that you have. The tools that I use, it's very simple. Linktree has it. It's Trendspider. I just showed you. And I'm going to show you MicroStrategy on the 4-hour algorithm. I can show you Tesla on the 4-hour algorithm. It does better than buy and hold over the last 2 years because of the volatility. And the other tool that I have Premium and Alpha Picks. Okay, Seeking Alpha Premium, you can get that with a $30 off and free 7-day trial. If you get the bundle, you save even more. And as we're seeing with some of these recovery from yesterday, the Alpha Pick stocks are outperforming in the recovery. They are significantly down. But the logic tells you and history tells you they will outperform in the recovery. And so that's why you want the bundle. Again, this is what I have. I was a paying customer before I was an affiliate. So go and get those. Go over to Linktree and do it. And if you want to see these 4 stocks that could turn $5,000 into $1 million, go over to my newsletter and you can type in the symbol TMDX and you can go and read this. Again, it's for paid customers, so go and do it. Now, I'm going to go on a little rant here, but you know what this market feels like? It feels like your parents telling you that you're adopted and then finding out that you're actually not adopted. Feels like your parents, maybe your parents, but maybe they're not your parents. And then you find out they told you that you were adopted because they're ashamed of you. And they wanted to make you think like you're adopted. That's what this market feels like. It's uncomfortable as fuck. It will play with your mind. So what happened yesterday? The market started up. I mean, we can go and look at a 5-minute chart. You know, we're going to go back to the 4-hour. I'm comfortable on the 4-hour. I can do that. But if I go and look at a 5-minute chart, you can see we gapped down the day before on Monday. Then yesterday, we gapped up. We covered that gap. There's more gaps up here at 457. Okay, the market started out good. And then what happened? There was a report from Bloomberg that in a closed-door meeting with some JP Morgan associates or something, Treasury Secretary Bessent, he went on a rampage, okay? He said the China trade war is unsustainable. He expects talks to begin imminently. This was not a meeting that was open to the public, by the way. There were no cameras. There was nothing. I think he's the one in the administration with common sense. He's the one that talked Trump into the pause for 90 days. I think he's seeing there's no winning here. There's no win whatsoever. And what did we see yesterday? We saw a huge broad-based rally. There hasn't been a rally this broad since October 2022. Boy, October 2022, let's go back and see where the stock market was trading. That was the low. Okay, that was the low. Where was the Qs? The Qs were trading at 250. You're at 450 right now. Doesn't mean you go out and buy, because I don't think that we're done. But it was a huge 497 of the S&P 500 were up. That's a huge, huge rally. Then what happened? Well, the market closed, and Trump said, you know what? I'm going to invite reporters into the Oval Office. One of the reporters that he invited into the Oval Office was Eamon Javers from NBC. This is not a guy the president likes, but he invited him in. Okay? Trump talked to the press. He said he knew Javers was going to ask him about Powell. He knew Javers was going to ask him about China. He said, no, I don't have any plans to fire Jerome Powell. He wouldn't go that far. He has found out what the market thinks of firing Jay Powell. It doesn't like it. Market was up 1% after hours. And then he went into China. He said the tariffs won't be 145%, but they won't be zero. That takes a lot of risk off the market. Market went up another 1%. He knows he's moving the market. Expect more chaos. It came out overnight that Trump plans a meeting with Xi in May. It's clear this is a bump in the market, and if China and the U.S. can come to a deal, you will see the market continue to flourish. Okay, but don't count on it. Again, maybe Charles Schwab was visiting the White House, the Oval Office again. That's why I like the Liberation Day strategy. It won't get me in until we start to see some type of turn of moving averages. It's based on moving averages. Okay, the 4-hour algorithm got you in. The 4-hour algorithm does as well as can be expected. It was written during right after COVID. Okay, the Liberation Day strategy was written right after Liberation Day. The key, I went back and back tested them against historic patterns. Remember, there's no opinion here. This is fact. This is using mathematical formulas to figure out when you should get in and when you should get out. And then it tells you your performance. And if you're okay with that, then go and get Trendspider. Okay? Stock futures source, Trump says no intention of axing Jerome Powell. That was it. There are 10 stocks that offer growth dividends and higher trading value. I found this interesting. This was a super interesting article because this tells you, hey, they're up. They offer growth and dividends and have traded higher. The one that I wanted to point out was the number one, Consolidated Edison, ED. It's not erectile dysfunction, not in the hard world. This is Consolidated Edison. We don't sell boner pills over here. This is a utility. And it's up 26% year to date. It's up 2% in today's market. Well, it's up 0.5, 2% in yesterday's market. Okay. The valuation, bit extended. The growth, fantastic. You're going 4% year over year. The sector doesn't even grow. The profitability, fantastic, 53% gross profit margin. The momentum, look at all that green. The revisions, not great. Not great. Again, the quant has it as a buy. But what I want to point out is it's trading at 113. Wall Street thinks that it's worth 103. So you take this that article about 10 stocks that offer growth and dividends, and you take it and go through and see if any of these are trading below what Wall Street says, have good valuations, and you can go and buy them. Okay? They have a good dividend. This is a classic market of risk reward. We've seen NVIDIA under 100, then it shoots back over 100. You could have gotten NVIDIA. Why didn't you buy it under 100? It's at 105 right now. Why not? I mean, the 4-hour algorithm didn't get you in. Maybe it'll get you in. Doesn't beat buy and hold. It wins 52% of the time. But again, under 100, buy it. Then it shoots back up. The risk is there. We've seen Apple under $200. It's at 206 right now. It comes back up. We've seen Meta under $500. Okay, it's at 528 right now. If you mentally assign yourself that, hey, this stock will regularly get back over this price, and you just buy it under that price, and you can stomach the losses, you don't have to win all the time. But you can swing the odds in your favor, and maybe you win 1 out of 10 times where it's a huge win. Maybe you win 50% of the time. You should beat the market. Again, it's about assigning a price that you're willing to pay. If you go out there and you're shopping for a refrigerator and you put a budget of $1,000 and then somebody talks you into buying a $2,000 refrigerator and you're like, oh my God, I love it. Was the $2,000 a mistake because you're only willing to pay $1,000? No. Again, you have to assign your own value to these stocks. And the way you do that is the fundamentals. The way I do it is by using Seeking Alpha. I said in this podcast, I said, I don't like buying Transmetic at $60 post, thing. But I went on a rant yesterday, and we'll go over this with Tesla. I went on a rant why I bought Apple in 2004. It's the same thing. You're in a market where a tweet can take you down. Okay? So you have to find opportunities. The S&P earnings, the multiple, just take, okay, I'm expecting about $250 per earnings per share. It just estimated, you can go and ask Perplexity, but that's the number that I think is comfortable in this market. If you assign an 18 or a 19 multiple to that, just significantly higher. So I don't know where you're necessarily getting the growth, but you have to, it's risk reward, and your time frame matters. Microsoft and Salesforce, among Bank of America's software picks for risk on and off environment, Microsoft has done crap. Okay, it's still in a downward trend. Would you buy it? I don't know. I mean, the 4-hour algorithm makes you 24%. Buy and hold, it makes you 26%. You win 42% of the time. It's not a bad, bad opportunity. You got a gap up here at 441. Maybe that makes sense. CRM, I hold this in my Roth. And I think I bought it 220. Way back. Here in September or October. Getting down there. I think that was this May 30th where it dropped down. I think that's where I bought it. Right after its earnings. I said it's too good. That drop, that gap, that gap, it's going to get filled. And it did get filled. Did I sell? No. I'm going to add more. The 4-hour algorithm makes you 25%. You win 41% of the time. So you have to find a strategy that does it. But remember, the risk is always going to be there. Now, we talked about, the U.S., how Trump and Xi might meet. I would argue, okay, I'm going to remove this text. I would argue that yin and yang might be a better play than the U.S. stocks. It might be better to bet on China for the trade deal because the multiple in the U.S. is extended. The multiple in China is not. You go and you look at BABA, okay? The largest, this is just one that I felt comfortable trading with. The valuation of D, but it's trading at 12 times. Okay, you go and look at the tech stocks in the US, they're trading at 25 times. This one may have more of an opportunity than the US tech stocks. It's just a observation. It doesn't mean you have to feel comfortable doing it, but it's just an observation that maybe China stocks might be better off because if the trade deal happens and China can start shipping back here, remember, NVIDIA can't sell chips to China. Huawei is now gaining because NVIDIA can't sell in there. So you're taking a risk no matter what. One that a risk reward, MicroStrategy. We talk about Bitcoin on here all the time. MicroStrategy. I've said this many times before. During this entire run-up, back here in September last year, at 12400s with MicroStrategy. I haven't gotten back in. I should have, because we turned a corner right here at 296. You're trading at 343. Okay, in pre-market, you're at 355, up another 3%. You can do MSTX, which is double leveraged. But the 4-hour algorithm, look down here where it says performance chart. 1,000, okay, this is over 24 months. You made 1,743%. Buying and holding has made you 900%. Why wouldn't you want to double? For, again, Trendspider, $700 a year for the lowest plan, and you get the 4-hour algorithm? You can trade MicroStrategy. Make the subscription fee back. You have earnings coming up. There's going to be no doubt he's going to buy more damn Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is soaring. Bitcoin, let's just go over here. We'll go over to the Bitcoin and crypto. And we'll just look at the Coinbase. Okay? 4-hour algorithm got you in at 82,000. 82. You're at 94. You can use it to trade Bitcoin. It's a solid strategy, but understand you should have a strategy. Now, is the gold run done? We're going to go and look at this one. Is the gold run done? Bearish engulfing day. Again, it's a bearish day, highest volume in over a year. The late gold bulls might be in trouble. That's all bearish. Taking it out of the ground for 1,400. Doesn't mean I'm going to hold on to this one forever. This was assigned as a trade. Now I've got to figure out, do I exit this one? The weekly candle is down 8%. Okay, you're trading at 51. I have identified an exit strategy. Make sure you have a strategy. Now, the reaction to earnings. Yesterday, 3M earnings. We can look at 3M because 3M did really, really well on earnings. And the algorithm, the 4-hour algorithm, got you in at 135. You're trading at 139. It's probably going to break above that 200-day. They always say nothing good happens under the 200-day. Well, if you buy a good company that has good products and good profits and good management like 3M does, maybe it's a good thing to buy under the 200-day. Now, let's talk about Tesla, because this is a story just not to be believed. You know, take that whole guide to investing book that you read, throw it out the effing door. It did nothing. It missed on profits, it missed on revenue and earnings per share. Okay? But the stock didn't do anything. We can look at a 5-minute chart of Tesla, okay? And I've said this before. The 4-hour algorithm makes you 115% versus 27%, almost 5 times your buy and hold. It doesn't have you in. It most likely will get you in today. And is this a chance to buy? Well, let's go look at a 5-minute chart, and we'll turn on the after hours yesterday, because you can see at 4:05 when the stock came out here, it didn't do much. It was just kind of floundering. This is a 5-minute chart, so each candle represents 5 minutes. What happened was the call started. He said he wasn't going to, he was going to step back from Doge slowly and move back to Tesla. Boom, the stock just went. This is the move, though. These candles right here, that's the move where the stock was announced as missing earnings per share and revenue. It was slightly up on news through the report that said they're on track for production of new vehicles. This stock held up during all of that bad news. When it can miss and hold up on those factual news, kind of tells you that maybe support is around 230. It's pretty shocking with the multiple that it has. And I can tell you, I have stayed out of this because of the multiple. You're paying 94 times forward earnings with revenue growth of 0.95%. It's expensive. Okay? But the fact that Elon is going back, that's good news. So why would you buy Tesla here? Okay? I went on a rant yesterday at 3:30 on Spaces with Wolf. I said, if you've got the opportunity to go out there and try full self-driving, you should. And if you don't have a Tesla, or you don't have a friend with Tesla with full self-driving, go in the app and schedule a test drive. They will put full self-driving on there, and you can try it on a test drive. I think you can. But you should go and do it on a test drive. Okay? It's an amazing technology. It's a perfect no. And then I went on to say, you didn't buy Apple in 2004 because they were a phone company. They just released the phone. It was a computer company. I mean, they made PCs. They didn't have the iPad. They didn't have the watch. They didn't have headphones. You bought it because it was creating this iPhone, which you thought was going to change mobile phones. BlackBerry was the number one. Everybody said, nobody's going to buy a phone without a keyboard. Nobody's going to punch on a touch screen. Nobody wants to do that. They did. So you're not buying Tesla just based on the car business. You're buying it because it's a robotics and an AI company. You don't buy Palantir just because it's an AI company. You expect them to do more. Again, Palantir is up like 10% today. It's up 5%. And you look at the valuation, you're paying 169 times forward earnings. Okay, even when you factor in the growth of 28% revenue growth year over year, it's still expensive. You're not buying it because of who it is today. You're buying it because of the future. Okay, and what happened after that 3 o'clock? Well, this guy went on Fox TV. And he literally said, go and schedule a test drive. Oh, and you didn't buy Apple because they were a phone company back then. You're not buying the company. You are. I'm pretty sure he was listening to my rant on there, but it is what it is. I mean, again, I share everything. I'm not closed. I just kind of can't keep my mouth shut, and I'm not putting it behind a paywall. It is what it is. But let's talk about what this means for earnings, because Interactive Surgical, ISRG, the Intuitive Surgical, so ISRG. This is one I don't cover. I'm not in this one. They had bad earnings. They're up 6.4%. They beat on earnings per share and revenue, but warned of tariffs. Boom! All of a sudden, because they warned of tariffs at 5 o'clock, and then Trump comes out and says, "Hey, tariffs aren't a thing." They were down 8% after they announced, and then Trump came out and said that, and boom! Look at the recovery. Look at the recovery. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with a market that might be slightly irrational. You had Capital One. Earnings beat, but not revenue. It was up 2%. COF. Let's see how it fared overnight. This one, it's up 6%. They didn't beat on revenue. Then you had GE Vernova, which is the power company. This one, they beat on earnings per share and revenue, and Stephanie Link addressed it. Early read on power electrification from GEV. EBITDA beat in all segments with an 8% sales beat. Good guide on organic sales growth, power electrification win to be whatever all of this means. But one of her stocks is VRT. VRT beat as well. And that one was up. This one was one that I held and I sold. 4-hour algorithm had you in here at 70. Did I buy? No. I made a mistake. You're not going to win on every one. And then you have Boeing, which came out with good earnings. This may get back in the core portfolio. It might be a decent trade here because the 4-hour algorithm, say you love Boeing, the 4-hour algorithm over 24 months has 30 positions. It's a bit too much for me, but it makes you 23% versus buy and hold loses you 24%. So it's about having these opportunities. AT&T came out. They blew away earnings and gave great guidance. We're in the bizarro world. This might be a good trade here. It might be a good trade. Algorithm got you out. Wait for the algorithm to get you back in. But maybe getting back to that 29, again, that might be a move. It's at 26 right now. That would be a nice 10% move. Over the history of it, is it good? Hold on one second. Penny! Okay, sorry. I had to do that. Is it a good long-term move? I would argue that this one, if you look back on a weekly, this has been a shit stock to hold for a long time. But it's one of the top S&P performance year to date. I mean, we can go and look at AT&T. Let's look at how AT&T did over the year to date. You're up 18%. Look at against the S&P. Just year to date. I mean, it's doing phenomenally well. Okay, overall, it looks like earnings expectations are low, and the market is looking through them as long as they beat. If they don't give negative guidance, things seem to be okay. One stock that I want to point out to you, JNVR, which is this crazy company that has gone into the MicroStrategy thing. This was up 14% yesterday. Year to date, you're up 881%. 5 days, you're down 0.27. But 1 month, you're up 922%. Okay? It's a little crazy to think that this is a great one, but you can trade this. JNVR. Let's look. Is there a strategy that works? 4-hour? makes you 95% versus 29%, but that's only because of this huge move that you got. So I wouldn't expect that one to be good. We can look at a shorter term, the 65 minute. Doesn't do well. I mean, because of this, we'd have to back test it. Let's go and look at the 1 hour strategy, the stock battle strategy. How does this do? Over the last 77 days, 179%. Okay. If you bought and held, it's 725%. Again, back testing to here would show you $12, 134% gain, and then a 35% gain. And then it got you out yesterday. Got you in at 45, and you're trading 48 right now. It got you out. But again, strategies matter. And in this turbulent market, you want a strategy. Okay. Part of the reason why I do strategies is because financial independence, retire early, it requires a strategy. And so I didn't necessarily have a huge strategy when I started it. I kind of got lucky, but the more I read about financial independence, retire early, the more I understand how I've just done it without a strategy and just understood it. But if you want to read a good strategy, this is Tom Engel, has lived off his portfolio for 40 years. He's an incredible investor with a brilliant cash management strategy. That's it. He has this protected value, and he protects it around 100,000. And he's able to do it in a bull market as it goes. And you can see, build cash during this time. He protects the value during this time. And as it gets down below here, he starts to buy. And it's good even if you're not in financial independence, retire early. I think this is a good way of managing a portfolio. And I will tell you, you want to take some bets, okay? If you're younger, you should absolutely be more risky than older folks. But even if you're older, 1% of your portfolio, of your total portfolio, should be in something super risky like crypto. Should be in something super risky like Tesla, like Palantir. Okay, it should be like Transmedics that I just went over. It should be in risky plays. Okay, 1%. You can spread that 1% out over like 4 or 5 investments. It's not going to return the best, but maybe you hit one that really does. Add to your winners. You know, water your flowers, not your weeds. But Steve Kress goes over why he likes HODL versus IBIT. And I got to tell you, maybe it makes sense. It's interesting. Has lower fees than IBIT. It's almost as liquid. So if you want to buy and sell some crypto, HODL or IBIT might be your play. But again, this market, it's not green light, oh my God, we're done. It's just reacting to what it has. And so you want to make sure that you have charts. Charts take emotions out of this. We still have on a 4-hour, if you just look at it daily, we still have a negative moving 50-day. We still have a 200-day that's moving down. We finally got a little bit of a bump in the 9-day, and the 21-day is starting. The MACD is super, super low. The RSI is coming off of oversold territory back here on April 8th. The RSI was at 23. Sometimes even in a bear market, you get a bounce like this. It's not always good. It's not always green light. Look at 2022. Now, there was a reason for that. You look at COVID. There was a reason for that. Now you've got Liberation Day. There's a reason for this. You can't time the bottom. This is why I continue to say, start adding in during these times, during yesterday when it was down, or the day before when it was down. You want to add during those times where it's uncomfortable. And yes, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for everybody. And you may still be down, but the goal is long term. And that's the way I look at my portfolio. You look at Shopify, it's up 10% today. You look at Amazon, it's up 6%. Amazon, I went over yesterday that this was the best value in the market in my mind. You know, you have Berkshire Hathaway hitting, close to all-time highs at 528. You got Disney up 3%. You got Goldman Sachs up 5%. Coke is down 1%. You got Eli Lilly up 1%. This is at 836. And again, I'm a fat guy and I refuse to take these damn pills, but boy, it's tempting. You got Meta up 6%. You got Nvidia up 4% at 103. It's trailing a little back down. You still have a gap at 111. Maybe you get a good play there. And is it bad to hold on to NVIDIA and maybe sell it at 111 for short term? Probably not. But you are in a downward trend, and the trend has not changed. QQQ is up 3.5%. It's 945 right now. QQQ is flying. Tesla, 248. It's hitting that 250 mark. It hasn't really moved out of this range. It's just kind of sitting in this range right now. Uber's up 2%. I went over Uber even with the DOJ stuff. Still think it's a $100 stock. You can easily cancel that shit. You know, XLY is up 3%. XLK is up 4%. The moves today feel comfortable. Don't chase. Have a plan. You can't just show up and say, ooh, this one's up, I'm going to buy it. Have a plan. The key point is have a plan. You're listening to this podcast, and I completely, over and over again, tell you have a plan. Make sure you know your portfolio. Make sure you know your stocks. Make sure your elevator pitch. If you have 60 stocks in your portfolio, you know, I think I hold somewhere in the neighborhood of 18 or 19 outside of Alpha Picks. Alpha Picks portfolio is like 34 stocks. I'm perfectly comfortable holding that because I do play it where they tell me to buy and sell. But outside of that, I don't have enough bandwidth to do 50 freaking stocks. Okay, if some of those are YOLO ones where I'm just putting 1% of my portfolio in and thinking, okay, I can move that needle and just let it run, I ignore it. But most of these stocks I actively manage. You know, I'm trimming every now and then. I'm selling. I'm buying. You know, VRT. I made a mistake. I've talked about my mistakes on here a lot. I'm not perfect, but you know, I'm still retired. I mean, you know, I joke with my girlfriend all the time. I said we're poor. We're not poor. We're not poor. But it does. You know, I talked about it yesterday. I look at the percentage, not the dollar amount, but the dollar amounts scare the shit out of me with the losses that I've gone through. And Chris Camillo talks about this freely. I mean, he talks about it. It just hurts to think that amount of money that I lost. But I do believe we're going back to all-time highs. It won't be this year, but we are going to get there probably next year. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Again, everything's over on Linktree. You got Trendspider. You got Seeking Alpha with the bundle. You got Seeking Alpha Premium. Say you don't want the bundle. Go and get your 7-day free trial and $30 off of Seeking Alpha right there. Okay? It is in the Linktree. It's the third link right down there. And if you want just Alpha Picks, which is a curated portfolio, one on the 1st, one on the 15th, you get a stock and they tell you when to sell. And over its history, it has outperformed the S&P. Currently weak. It's mostly small caps. You know, and I tell people all the time, my Webull portfolio, which was at $13,000. Okay, I play this one super risky. It got down to $7,000. Okay, the low within the past 3 months is $7,000. The high was $13,000. What's it at today? 10,000. This is made up of Apple, Google, iBit, NVIDIA, Spotfiy, and Tesla. That's it. That's it. So I have 5 stocks in here, 6 stocks that I can easily just trade around and I can get in and out of. And it's not that big of a deal. You know, but this is my play account. I use this as my risky account. You can sign up for Webull today. Use this link and sign up for Webull. You get free stocks when you sign up. It is a great, great app. I like it more than I like Robinhood. But I continue to be bullish on Robinhood, and I do have a Robinhood account. So if you like Robinhood, you can get free stocks here too. Claim your free stocks now. So either one that you like, I like Webull, and the reason I like Webull, I talked about this with somebody else. The reason I like Webull is because I'm just used to the app, I think. Robinhood, I'm not used to the app. But remember, I'm a guy that uses the Fidelity app. I don't think anybody under the age of 25 would even understand the Fidelity app. So if you have any questions, use the Linktree, sign up for some tools, sign up for everything that you need. Even if you want to buy a Tesla, you can get $2,000 off if you sign up right there. So I have all the links here. Phone service, you can get Verizon Visible. This is the service that I have. And I have, I was on the $25 plan. I upgraded to the $35 plan. So, because I don't have a watch. I can get everything that I need on the 30. It's unlimited talk and text, unlimited data. So go and check out the whole thing. But I think you get $20 off when you use my link. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Okay, see you, bye. Oh. Yeah, everybody struggles. It's not going to get easier. You've got what, 3 years, 8 and 3 years, 8 months left. I mean, it is 100% just it's a man-made problem. It's not like the past where you were able to, valuations mattered and things were easy. By the way, how is the new graphics? Oh, I knew that one. Let's do redo. Okay, there we go. And we're going to colorize that, and I'm going to put this there. And we're going to boom, boom. Okay. Wah, wah. And green screen. Copy. Boom, boom. Listen now. We're going to get this one in here. And let me just export file. 423. Boom. Okay. Yeah, my best advice is, if you're having problems making decisions in the market, you're not planning. And I say that with all due respect. If you're trading day to day, there's a different strategy than if you're investing. If you're trading on a weekly basis, there's a different strategy than trading on a daily basis. If you're trading on if you're trading on a yearly basis, there's a different strategy than investing. Investing is different than trading. And so there's a difference about, for me particularly, I want to know the companies that I'm buying. I want to know that I'm going to use their products. I want to know that, their products are good. And I may never use an NVIDIA chip because I'm on Apple, but I do know plenty of people that do. And if you're going to mine Bitcoin and stuff like that, you still need those chips. If you're going to be in AI, you need NVIDIA chips. Now, China's Huawei is selling directly into China chips that are comparable to NVIDIA. And NVIDIA can't sell in China. So that was a big market for them. I think it was like 30% of NVIDIA's sales went to Singapore, which you don't have to be a genius to know that those shell companies were going out to, they were being shipped to China, because it's not like the electricity grid in Singapore was built for AI. So. Man, I joined TikTok and I gotta tell you, I was pissed. My girlfriend's son is an influencer on Tokyo Sims, and he had some people on TikTok. Wait, I thought 3 weeks ago. He's been doing shorts, I think. Yeah. Okay, I gotta go get this ready. It is 10 o'clock, so I am out of here. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you later. And Eli, I would promise to read your GLP-1 thing, but it'll happen one of these days, I promise. I know you put work into it, so it's still there. I can show you. Let me see. I can show you it's still in the inbox. See, it's still there, Eli. And it's still on red. Still on red. So, I gotta delete all the emails. I even have, oh, okay. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.